Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from January 9th to the 15th, and I'm using this kit from Scribble Prints Co. This was, I think, her Cyber Monday kit, but I did not buy it. For Cyber Monday, I ended up purchasing overstock, so I don't have any foil or anything like that, and I believe the only option was to get the full-size kit. Frankly, I'm pretty happy about that because I took a shot at color blocking this week. Normally I buy the mini kits and there's not enough in those kits in order to do a full week of color blocking. I also toyed around with the idea of color blocking everything, like even the icons, but that idea did not work pretty quickly. On Monday, my first two items that I marked do have red stickers, but I wanted to use a credit card sticker, and the only color I used off of, I have like a Carly Plans credit card sheet. The only sticker I used was the red one. So I was like, okay, well, I really want to use a credit card, so we're not doing color blocking that much. But I would really like to try that sometime. Have you ever done like fully color blocking every single piece of functional deco and like icon? Because I think that would look really cool, but it would definitely take a lot of planning and time. I don't know, maybe when I'm like all caught up and I have a full weekend of nothing and I have the stars have to align, because I also would want it to be a colorful kit like this to do that with, So I don't know, but we didn't do that this week. I was a little bit worried that this would end up looking very primary colors-esque, with the color blocking, but I think I like it. I'm happy I gave it a try. It was fun. And yeah, as far as what happened this week, I was finally feeling 100% better from the cold or whatever I had the week between Christmas and New Year's. I was like finally done with the leftover like gross cough and all that. And I also celebrated my birthday this week. My birthday was over a month before this, but it was just a giant dumpster fire. And so this week, all I wanted to do for my birthday was, actually, I technically did do what I wanted to do for my birthday, but I'm not explaining this very well. All I want to do for my birthday is like get a drink and look pretty. Like that's all I really care about on my birthday, but that didn't happen this year. It did happen a couple days later, so I can't complain. I did get my drink. But I had originally planned on doing an escape room for my birthday with my boyfriend, my best friend, and my mother. We were all going to do one together, and we kept rescheduling it because of my grandmother. It was a whole thing. We finally did it this week. Anything else? Oh, yeah. There was a party that I went to for 5 minutes and then had to leave because I got sick. Yeah, pretty exciting week. What else? Nothing. I'm just going to get started on the day by day. So first thing on Monday, I usually make Monday my in-office day because going into the office brings me so much anxiety that if I put it off, it will ruin every single day until I go in, because I will just be anticipating the commute. And my boyfriend even just asked me yesterday, he was like, I don't understand why you go into the office on Mondays. Why don't you go on Fridays? Because you get to leave at 3, you'd spend less time there. But it's just like, it will weigh on me all week. And also in Philadelphia, Friday at 3 p.m. is still rush hour. Like I will still get home later than I want. I'll still have to fight for a parking spot. And it's just really nice to be home already on Friday, turn off my computer at 3 p.m. and be done. It's just such a good feeling. And I always feel so great Monday night when I park my car and am home and like I'm done. So yeah, even though it, I guess, makes more sense to go in on Friday because I don't have to be there that long, once I'm in the office, like 2 extra hours, like who cares? Or 3 extra hours technically in the office, who cares? That's fine because I'm already there. Anticipating going is the worst part. I could go on about this forever, but like to sum it up, the main things that make me nervous about going into the office right now, because my boss is actually working fully remotely until April, so I am the only one in on Mondays, which is great, but I still have to either take the bus or drive and worry about parking and then walk to the office from, wherever I park or whatever bus stop in the cold, and everything smells like urine. I have to get up like before 7 a.m. instead of just waking up 10 minutes before my shift starts, like I just roll out of bed, brush my teeth, wash my face, and work. It's great. It's just like a lot of stuff. It just makes me very, very anxious. I will always hate a commute, but commuting into a city is just another thing, and I'm not built for it. I'm too anxious. So anyway, that was a long spiel just to say that I went in the office this day. And then also another thing about commuting into the city was I was walking right by where there had just been an active shooter, like literally 3 minutes or 2 minutes before I walked by. Like his car was still right in the middle of the intersection with the doors wide open. Nobody was hurt, so that's good, but it's still just like such a scary reminder that anything could happen. And, depending on where you live and where you work, your chances are higher. So that was not fun. Then under that, I marked that I was so brave because I finally got a key card for the bus. I have so much anxiety when it comes to the bus. I really don't want to take it. I even had anxiety about like figuring out where to get a key card because you can't order one and you can only get them at certain bus stops. And I just had a gut feeling that one of the bus stops in like the busier parts of Philly would have a kiosk. So I walked to like there's like a huge underground like SEPTA station. And so I braved, the mole people and got myself a key card. And it was just, it was pretty gross. Everything smelled just terrible, and you're stuck down underground, And then this guy came over to help me. He worked there. He was like a security guard, and he thought I was having trouble, but I like wasn't because I know how to use a fucking machine. Thank you. He was just being polite, but I don't like it. Like, I just want to be left alone, Like, I'll come to you if I need help. But so he came over, even though I didn't even look up. Like, I must have looked like I knew what I was doing. And his breath smelled so bad I could taste it. I just could not wait for him to leave. And then he was like waiting for me to complete my purchase. And I'm just like, dude, you need to go because I'm going to vomit on both of us. So it was just not fun, but I did it. Finally got it. Then after work, I went home and I went to my boyfriend's place. I did a 20-minute full body workout, just like a short little nothing because I just am still very much out of shape and also did not have it in me after a long day. And then I trimmed the back of my boyfriend's hair. He had just gotten it cut, and the guy just did a terrible job at evening it out. So I cut his hair, and then we watched an episode of the ABC, I think it's ABC, the show called Will Trent. It's by far the worst show I've ever seen, and I'm so disappointed because the Will Trent series by Karen Slaughter, I love those books so much, and they're so dark and messed up. So I was really hoping that, like, if it ever turned into a show or a movie, it would be, like, on HBO or Showtime, like something where they, like, push the limits, not ABC. And it's just bad. It toes the line of being too funny to be serious and too serious to be funny. And the acting and writing are both terrible. However, you never know if the acting's really bad when the writing is this bad because, like, you can only do so much with it. So, yeah, at this point, we were still sort of like, let's just sort of stick with it. It's something to have on that's mindless. So we watched that. I did my nails, and then I read. Moving on to Tuesday, I just marked that it was so cold, and I had to drive back home because I prefer working at my place because my internet is just more reliable. So I came home to work, I paid my rent, and then I marked that I finally made chili. I had made this chili recipe before, but it was a little bit different. I used meat. It called for ground meat or ground turkey or whatever, and it was done in a crock pot, but I don't own a crock pot big enough, and I don't really like cooking meat. And even, it's weird, like, I'll eat the chilies from Wendy's, and I believe that has meat in it, but the thought of like browning my own, the fact that I made the meat myself, you know, just really grosses me out. So I just made vegetarian chili, and honestly, tasted exactly the same, just as good. The only thing that was missing was that nasty, disgusting, chewy meat texture. So 10 out of 10, I did a great job. Then I deep cleaned the bathroom, I planned, and then I ended the evening with some more reading, which was good because I'm really trying to read before bed instead of scrolling on my phone or just procrastinating getting into bed. Moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked was that the smoke alarm was going off in the entire building, and I got so nervous. I believe this happened twice, and I can't remember if this was the first or second time, but the first time it happened, this might be the first time, I got so worried because I smelled something burning, and so I was like, well, shit, we have to get the cats. Like, we have to get the cats in their carriers if this is legit, because it was going on for like 5 minutes. The fire department showed up, okay, and knocked on our door to make sure that we didn't have anything on fire in our apartment. We were like, nope. We're just annoyed. So that was annoying because I was also like just signing on for work. So yeah, that was pretty stressful. And then I just marked that I'm worried I suck. I already feel much more confident at my job, and it's only been, 2 weeks since, 3 weeks? No. Yeah, it's been 2.5 weeks since January 11th, about whatever. And I already just feel so much more confident. But this day I was like, wow, I suck at my job. But I don't. So go me. I decided to walk 2 miles on the treadmill. What I'm trying to do right now, at least for the rest of February, because I was so sick for a lot of January that it like messed me up. Because I'm so out of shape right now and everything is really hard for me and also just very time consuming. Like, working out does take up a decent amount of time because then you also have to like shower right after, and you know, like, you have to set aside much more time than just the workout, you know? So it's not like I can just wake up 30 minutes before work and work out. I have to wake up like an hour and 15 minutes before work if I want to do it in the morning. You know, it's just like a thing. I don't like it. So what I'm trying to do, at least until the end of February, is 2 30-minute workouts a week and walk on the treadmill at least one day, a minimum of 2 miles, but preferably 3 if I have it in me. But that takes an hour. So again, it really comes down to the time that it takes. Like, for instance, today I decided to break my walk up into 2 parts because I wanted to do 3 miles. So I walked 1.7 miles on my break, went back to work, and then when I clocked off for the day, I did the 1.3. So I got them all in, and that way it didn't take up a full hour of my evening because I used my lunch break to do it too. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing, and this day was a treadmill day, so I walked my 2 miles. Then I spent a bunch of time wiping my old Asus. Obviously, you can do other things while you're resetting a computer, but it took me like 5 hours for this computer to completely reset, and it didn't even wipe the D drive. So I have to go back and do it again. It just wiped the C drive. So stupid. Then I marked that I lost my Pac-Man game, and this is my Pac-Man Adventures Through Time, like CD-ROM from 2000 or like, I don't even know, very old. And I love this stupid game, and I wanted to install it, and I couldn't find it. And I have a strong feeling that I lent it to my sister before we stopped speaking. So that thing's long gone. So I jumped onto the internet. At first, I spent 2 hours. I stayed up so late this night. I spent 2 hours ripping my apartment apart, trying to find it. I looked everywhere I would ever put it. It is nowhere. I am confident it's nowhere at this point. Like, I looked for so long. So then I jumped onto my computer to buy it on Amazon. It's $50. But to buy it used on eBay, it was $6. So I bought it. And then I just marked that I was up way too late searching. Moving on to Thursday, I marked that I was exhausted, clearly, because I stayed up all night looking for an old CD-ROM game. And then I marked that I accidentally put the wrong start time on my timesheet the day before because the fire alarm went off and I was starting to panic. And I accidentally typed in the number 8 because I was like, oh, I'm starting at 8 a.m. But it was 7:57. So it changed the 7 to an 8, making my start time 8:57. And I was so scared because I was like, no, there is no way in hell I'm wasting a free hour of my life. Like, absolutely not. That is one thing I will not do. I will not work for free anymore. I've done it in the past. I will never do it again. So I went in and I changed my time, and I got like a little warning message that says, if you go in and change a previous day's time, management will be notified. And I was like, fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm not working for free. And then I also double checked my history on the computer, and you can see that I was active online at 7:57 a.m. and onward all day. So I have proof. Nothing ever came about it, but I have proof that like I did really start working at 7:57 a.m., not 8:57. So yeah, but at the time I felt sick to my stomach because I was like, how did I do that? Then I marked that I went to Dollar Tree on my break, and they actually had what I needed, which was nice. I did a 30-minute full body workout this day. And I wrapped gifts. I wrapped Christmas gifts. One for a white elephant party and another one for my best friend. We made an agreement to swap gifts later in it's not even the season. The season's over, but just later because we were too stressed out getting gifts for everybody else. Then I marked that I just put a bunch of stuff away. Like I think either this day, yeah, it might have been this day, I finished completely putting away everything I got for Christmas and all that. And then I ended the evening with reading. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked was that it was Friday the 13th, and I'm annoyed at myself because I placed a Once More with Love order and forgot to order more little, maybe they were out of them, I'm not sure. But I need more little Jasons to mark Friday the 13th. Fridays are my shorter work days, so I was done at 3, and then I noticed that my throat was starting to hurt, and I was very, very frustrated because I had just been sick twice. So, like Thursday night I was sneezing a little bit, but I was like, oh, that's nothing. And then Thursday night I woke up and I'm like, this doesn't feel good. But other than that, I was like feeling okay. So we went to the escape room that I had booked weeks in advance, and it was really fun. We managed to do it, although some of the clues given were not very clear. Like we were doing things. So like, for example, there was a Ouija board at one point, and with a Ouija board, you like slide around the board, and the game master was like, oh, you have to pick up the whatever it's called, the thing on a Ouija board. You have to pick it up and place it on each letter, which is like something that should have been included in the little riddle because that's not how you use a real Ouija board. So most people will not pick up the little arrow thing and like clack it around, they're just going to slide it. So so like we got everything, but we did need things clarified, which was really annoying because I just would have rather that be I would have preferred more clear instructions so we could just get it all by ourselves, Then I was the driver this evening, which was a terrible idea because I was exhausted. I wasn't feeling well. It was technically supposed to be my, birthday celebration, but I didn't want to ask anybody to drive because I don't like asking for things. So if somebody doesn't offer it, I just don't ask. So I drove and I started driving back to my apartment after the escape room, forgetting that we had to stop at Domino's to pick up a pizza. And so my boyfriend's like, oh, no big deal. Just like turn on your signal and get back in the lane. And I was like, that's not happening. Like that is not happening. I also just got cut off like twice by assholes trying, like in the left lane, trying to exit on the right. You know what I mean? Like, so I was already shaken up. So yeah, no, absolutely not. I will not be switching lanes in the city when I can't even see. I'm so tired. So no. So I yelled at him. Then I marked that we got subpar Domino's once again. Strike 2. The Domino's near me used to be so good, and now they are just not good. This pizza was at least edible and wasn't stale somehow, but they still did not put any sauce on it. So that sucked. Even though we wrote in the directions extra sauce. There was none. And then the final thing we did on Friday was play Codenames with my mom before she had to head back home. she came over for pizza and code names. And then my roommate and boyfriend started doing like an escape room advent calendar, but I was so tired. I had to go to sleep. So yeah. Then on to Saturday, the first thing I marked that I was so exhausted. I almost cried. It was bitter cold this day, like so cold. I had zero energy. And I had to drive like over an hour to go meet up with my mom and my grandmother to get lunch. So I knew I had to do it because I hadn't seen my grandmother in months, but I was really, really tired. And I just marked that it was the coldest day ever. And then I went into the fridge to get a cold Red Bull because the only thing getting me through, I was like, you know what, I'm going to save my Red Bull for the car ride there. I'll listen to my audiobook, have my beverage. It'll be lovely. This ride will be easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then I go into my fridge and I realize I forgot to restock my cold Red Bulls and they are all room temperature. And I was seriously about to burst into tears because that's just how like overwhelmed I was. The warm Red Bull was just like, that was the last drop in the bucket. And so my roommate was like, you know what? I owe you a Red Bull, so I'm going to run downstairs and buy one. I'll be right back. And so she went and she bought me a cold Red Bull at the nearest convenience store. So that was really nice because, yes, she technically had borrowed a Red Bull and still needed to replace it, but like she didn't need to do it right then. Like I still technically had Red Bull. They were just all warm. And I didn't really want to like carry 2 water bottles with me. So I don't know. It was just really nice of her. She could tell I was about to have a mental breakdown, so she fixed it with a little thing and a car. I feel like I haven't mentioned any stickers. I don't know. Anyway, this is still about Sticker Co. car. I marked that I drove to my hometown. That's where I was meeting my mom and my grandmother. And it made me really sad because I just really wish that I could live in a town like my hometown again. But I cannot afford it, alas. But yeah, so driving there was very like depressing because I was just like, I just want to live here again. And then I marked that we had Panera, and I'm pretty sure the Panera gave us food poisoning because right after my mom's like stomach wasn't feeling too great and she had to run to the bathroom. And then I marked Target run. I did go to Target, but I also went to Walmart and ShopRite just because I figured while I'm in Jersey, I might as well get things done before I'm back in the city. I stopped home to drop a bunch of stuff off. That was terrible. I had to park on the sidewalk because there was no parking. So I didn't stay home long. And then I went to my boyfriend's place because we had to go to a white elephant party. And I was so tired. I was this close to telling him that like I was too tired to go. But I don't like, I've mentioned this before, like I just don't like canceling because I feel like people think you're lying. And I was worried my boyfriend was going to think I was lying and just thought I didn't want to go. But like I just really was tired. So anyway, I pulled through. But as we were getting ready to leave, my stomach started feeling weird. And I told him, I was like, my stomach feels weird. And I don't know if it's gas or like something worse. Like I can't tell right now. And he was like, oh, well, do you want to wait a little bit? And I was like, we should probably just go, I guess, because we were already an hour late. And he was like, okay, well, you know, if you're gassy, just let him out. I don't care. So we go to the party. And my stomach's still feeling weird, but I'm like, you know what? I think I'm okay. So I get there and I honestly don't feel like drinking because I'm tired and like not into it. And so my friend offers to make me a cup of tea. So she makes me tea. I take one sip of the tea and I am instantly just like, nope, it's not gas. I am about to lose it at this party. So I grabbed my boyfriend in front of everybody. I was like, you have to drive me home now. And he's like, oh, do you want to just take my car? I was like, no, I cannot drive myself. I can't even sit upright. So it was very embarrassing. I was there for 5 minutes. I waved at everybody and left. And then I got sick. But honestly, it was a blessing because I got to, after I was done being sick, I got to vegetate on the couch alone, which is all I really ever want. So I ended my evening just getting sucked into Teen Mom TikTok. Then on Sunday, I woke up feeling awful. I was definitely sick. That sore throat I woke up with Friday came back with a vengeance. Like for whatever reason on Saturday, the sore throat, it like turned into a little bit of a cough. but nothing more, Didn't think anything of it. Just thought I was really tired. Like, I don't know if this happens to you, but when I'm really tired, my throat gets really sore anyway, like even when I'm not sick. So I just thought I was overdoing it. But no, Sunday I woke up full-blown sick. So the first thing I did was take a nap. And then I didn't want to waste my last day of freedom, so I powered through yet another puzzle that I had gotten for my birthday. It was so fun. And I hadn't eaten anything really that good all week, satisfied any cravings, because the Domino's sucked and the Panera was just like, whatever, I got like soup and a sandwich. Oh boy. So we did Chili's pickup, and it took forever. So unfortunately, it took like 2 hours. So there was the rest of my evening. We watched another episode of Will Trent, and then I was up all night sick. I couldn't stop coughing. I just felt terrible. And that was it for this week. So thank you so much for watching, especially if you stayed to the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.